I mean, I don't even know. There's sound now, but it was set to default, and then it was recording, and I mean recording back behind.
Yeah. Anyways.
So does that mean that we have to push that whole recorded?
Yeah.
Whatever.
So I'm Eva Reistad. This is Erika Earl.
Jeez.
You're funny. You're funny. Well, no, the computer's recording it on the back end.
Got it.
In iMovie or whatever.
Got it.
And so, regardless of the fact that we were mute live for 40 minutes,
anyway,
we have the files stored somewhere.
Where's the tequila?
Hey, you want to do me a favor,
is it?
Jeremy?
I'm ready
And
for a
do you want to
mezcal.
change
I'm
the
not gonna eat
default to actually grab the board?
We'll do that afterwards.
Okay, because
Yep.
hey, man, this is only episode G. That's how you learn.
I thought
Gee.
you didn't give a. Oh, now we are on. Now
Oh my goodness!
This
Really?
is good.
Nobody said anything before.
Yeah.
Well, at first I did see. He said, "I don't hear or see you."
Oh
And
wow.
That was
Oh no!
at 7:59.
Or
then
see you?
and now there's no sound.
They
Bummer.
had to have seen you.
That's
a bummer.
okay. Not talking. We could have been
We've
talking
had a
about
good time
anything.
regardless.
I've had a really great time, and I say don't even air it. Let's just move on.
We're gonna
Let's
keep
just
on
move-
going.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all good.
Great.
Okay.
So
G's
even though we have the
grapefruit.
file stored in the computer, no one will ever know.
Yep.
Just
Nope.
guess.
No one's gonna know what it is.
You all missed out on an incredibly
It was
boring
so much
conversation.
fun. Boring. I agree.
It was about volume, metric, depth.
I don't think you're gonna just throw out a keyword and just sum it up like this at this point.
I think immersive audio, compression, Pro
Oh,
Tools.
That's way too. That's way more interesting for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I like that you're admitting
I do
that
too.
you don't know that shit because a lot of people act like they do. Have you
I
ever
agree.
seen someone walk in a room and they're like, oh, blah, 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 and you're like, you probably never even touched one of those things before.
I don't
too
know.
many times to count. But I think it's a worthy conversation to have because I was brought up on the idea of like avoid all extra anything unless
Right.
you absolutely
Make
need
it sound good.
Oh,
with what
I'll
you
never
got.
put like a 33609 or one of those SSL
Why not,
things.
though? I'm like now that I know like what it can do, I'm like, yeah, give me the.
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
every day. But
Here, it's because it's so funny. Like with me and for compression, it's kind of like when I started EQing. When I first started EQing ever, I was just like, this sound is changing. I don't know if it's good or bad. It's just different. So I would just like EQ a bunch of shit everywhere, and I listened to my mixes, and it was just a bunch of jumbled up. And this is like going back to audio school. I would like a snare drum. You would just see like 3K like all the way up, and then it would be like 100 and like 500, and I would just like boost everything because I thought that was what I was supposed to be doing.
Additive EQ.
Right. So,
Only.
so right now I'll
That's
hear
EQing.
compression and I'll hear like the thing and I've done it. I've like tried on overheads and then I'll put it in with my whole drum sound and I'll be like, okay, this is cool, but I don't know. What if I don't want that in the end? Or what if they go, hey, we don't, the overheads, take them down. And I'm like, oh, I accidentally already made a really short attack or I already
so
did
that's
this.
where the parallel.
That's where my parallel plan comes in, where I'm like, oh, you want a little more of that? Well, I got that in my back pocket here. Hide and make those tracks inactive. Or...
So what's the fear that can you over compress a signal? Why do you
Yeah.
walk
Yeah.
away? So and then when you smash a signal, what do you lose?
Well, you're losing
Dynamics.
peaks. You're losing dynamics. So, and I'll do that oftentimes too. I'll start compressing or I'll be mixing. I'll throw SSLs on everything and I'll start doing my little dynamic stuff and I'll put a gate on it and I'll do that and then I'll make them all inactive and my drums will come to life again. So it's kind of like, you know, you can.
It helps to control things because things can get a little bit crazy.
I always think of it as automatic volume control.
Yeah. Right.
So things can't go too high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just sort of puts a little ceiling on it and says no, no, no.
Yeah. And
No.
and sometimes
That's a
it can.
technical description.
Yes.
And sometimes
super
though
technical.
it can really like smack it.
No.
And I know how to do that, which is how that's why I will.
What do you mean by smack it?
Well, I'll compress like
hitting it hard.
yeah, like with
Right.
with the snare drum, like I'll do a short
But-
attack and like
I see. That's
and
what I
I'll-
wanted to know.
Yeah.
Can I've heard it explained many different ways, but can anyone actually explain what compressing is doing to it? I mean, it's it's more of a feel thing, right? I mean, there's a technical part of it, but it's different depending on what you're feeding into it.
Let me try. And she knows exactly. So let me try,
Yeah.
and then she'll correct me.
I will not, but let's hear it.
You know how compression works.
I do.
So, but I only kind of, and this is why I want to say it so you can correct me. So basically what it's doing is it is taking a transient, and when you are hitting a certain threshold or volume, this transient's hitting it, whatever your ratio, so if it's 4-1, basically the compressor will cut this signal down 4-1.
That I think we're clear on, and I agree. Keep going though. Keep
Are
going.
we not doing the basic?
No, that I just keep going because I want to hear your explanation.
Okay, so the attack is where, as far as milliseconds, where it will start hitting the transient, and the release is where the compression will release up on the transient.
Okay, what does a homeless person have to do with this?
No, transient is
Or grapefruit.
Or grapefruit.
But what is it actually doing, right? Do you know what I mean by this question? It's not like you can say, well, I put this into the blender and it cut off this side and this side, because it's all dependent on what you're pushing into it, the threshold, the ratio, all the different pieces that go into setting the compressor, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't think there's like a scientific explanation for what compression is doing. Do you have one? Like,
Oh God! Wow. Jeez.
Yeah,
Louise.
or
Like,
any-
threw the ball right at
Of
you.
course.
or any
He directed
explanation.
that
Erica's
at
like,
you.
hold my drink.
Wait, hold on. More than what she's saying, because we understand that, right? So if
Well,
something
she's explaining the mechanics of how
Yeah.
the different devices
4-1,
It's automatic
so-
volume control. Whatever you put in, it's input output, and that's what it's doing. However, whatever you can paint it,
9 different
pretty.
ways, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
but
It's interesting.
yeah.
It's
Just go back
interesting.
to no.
It's dynamic volume control.
Totally,
and
but
such
it's
is
doing
entities.
more than that.
what do you mean by it's doing more than that?
Well, what are you talking
by
about?
compressing a signal, you can make it fatter. You can make it thicker. You can make it
It's a transient.
You can make it fatter,
thicker.
thicker. These are not scientific words that I
Yeah,
understand.
of course not.
Yeah, what are you describing?
So,
here?
so if we were to look at if we were to look at it on a scope, say, are you familiar with?
Yeah, of
oscilloscopes?
course.
Okay. What are you trying to describe? How are you're saying that the
Well, so there's back to the mechanic part of it. There's something happening in a circuit that's actually sending it down, and depending on what you choose, it's sending it down a different type of circuitry, right?
sure.
So
So
there's
you
different
color the tone.
Yeah, there's different
depending
results.
on the components that you use and
Yeah,
what
or
compressor you're using, whether it's a tube compressor or sure. I
Even
think,
what you're feeding it.
at the level that you're
Yeah.
that you're putting into it. Yeah, there is a scientific explanation for that, depending on the compressor that you're using, and obviously
okay.
the level that you're putting into it, and all of that can be measured to a large degree. So if you want to tell me which compressor,
No. I want. This was more of a general question. I'm sorry.
Going
Sorry
down
to
the
have
rabbit hole.
put you through that. That was tough. I apologize.
No, she's just waiting for an exact product from you now.
No.
you want to talk? Which one you want to talk about?
CL1B.
Okay, we can talk about that. Tube Tech. So John Peterson
Oh God.
worked at Pool Tech. He was a designer there for many years, and then started Tube Tech. And there's this one of the most beautifully designed compressors, tube compression. I would argue that it's probably
Perfection.
pretty fucking close.
Okay.
Great, for vocals especially. I think when paired with a proper
Source.
microphone.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
And so now we're getting into the sources. In terms of the design, it's super straightforward and simple.
No
Should we
weird.
go further?
No weird
So
buttons
hot
that
in
you pull out
It did
and.
get warm. Okay, it's not
Okay,
me.
warm in here.
This turned
Yeah,
off if you
I
want to
thought
hit
it-
the button over
I
there.
thought it was the audio.
No, I was like,
loss
I'm like,
that
It's
I,
right
my
there. Do you want
sweat.
to just hit the?
The CL1B Tube Tech, yeah,
It's a great compressor.
great compressor.
It's a great
and
compressor. Do you have any gear yourself, or quite of a collection of gear?
Did you put sunglasses on?
Yeah.
I thought it would make me cooler
Yeah.
physically, not
Temperature wise.
mentally. physically.
No, but
Did it help?
It did
Okay.
because I.
Do you have a bunch of gear? Or you kind of keep it simple? What?
I try not to have too much recording gear at home because it would take me away from my children. I do have gear. I do have gear.
Cool. Yeah. That's awesome.
I have some nice gear.
It's not at
Good
home.
stuff.
Good stuff.
It's just not set up, honestly. I'm not recording at home. I'm recording at other studios and working with other people because
She's
home
a
is
freaking adult. Okay.
home
Like,
is for
You're
home
a
is
real
for
adult?
She's
play
an
with the
adult.
kids and make dinner.
It's supposed to be
and,
your sanctuary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who has gear at their house?
A lot of people.
What kind of?
I do have like
Faffery is that?
amplifiers and things to play instruments
Wow.
with. I think that's really important.
What is your favorite instrument to play?
My favorite instrument to play right now is the guitar.
Ah,
Through
Acoustic, electric.
Electric through 66 twin.
cool.
Yeah, I've been having fun with that, and also acoustic just for fun. I'm just teaching myself how to play. Really, I'm not very good at guitar at all, but I really want to like shred
Okay.
hard.
Love it.
Practice.
Love
Yeah,
it.
so I've been
Wow.
practicing a
Yep.
lot lately because I just think it's fun.
It's good. It's a good thing to get involved in.
Guitar's
I like
hot.
Yeah, but I always sort of default to the piano. Yeah,
So now just learn all your scales and then learn your arpeggios.
for the guitar.
Yeah.
You're right.
And
Exactly.
then people will think that
I got a really
Yeah.
good piece of advice from someone not too long ago that was to just like sit in front of the TV and like watch whatever you're watching, but like just always have the guitar in your hand.
Yeah, it's true.
And just like always be just like working the scales and working everything no matter what. Like if you're going to be
Even just-
watching a show,
You don't even have to be picking. You just got to
yeah,
be.
you're just like fingering.
That's what she said.
Take those glasses off. I'm just kidding.
You
It's
do look
actually cooled down
ridiculous.
in here now, so
You do
I
look
can-
ridiculous with my
sorry.
glasses on.
I'm just like
good thing the
I
air
look like I'm
conditioning works.
stoned in the corner.
43 minutes of silence. Sorry, all you people.
That's tough.
So now we have to be here another 3 hours.
No.
How about you do just like a midnight marathon podcast where you're just on?
We're gonna do more
We
stuff.
should do that. We're
should
gonna
do
need some
it.
stimulants.
Bring grapefruit.
Yeah, bring
Coffee.
grapefruit. Michael said he does a podcast where they drink a bunch of shots or something, and
Yeah, we created a channel called Do You Swallow, where you just drink really shitty alcohol.
And
Oh,
then
my.
can you drink it or
Can you
does it?
swallow or do you spit? Yeah.
Okay. So how many podcasts do you have running?
We've created like 4 channels, I think, and I'm in the process of just inventorying them and removing them, and just so that it's just data.
like this one will be removed.
Yeah, no, we're talking about other channels, and then Tortoise and Hare, we're gonna leave all the fuck ups because
It shows.
it shows growth. I mean, every episode for the last 5 episodes, something has gone wrong. So silence for 43 minutes is like, haha, suffer. Yeah,
We enjoyed the time.
yeah, that's all that matters.
It's too bad that nobody else did.
Frozen cameras not working, shut down the internet. We we constantly are finding what we can do wrong.
That's the best.
Isn't it? Yeah, success comes from that.
I don't know about
Yeah.
that part, but like, it's
Well,
sure
hopefully-
it's fun to mess up.
Sort of.
You know,
I
let's just
mean,
get to the end of the
Albert
alphabet.
Einstein.
We don't know of anyone else that's doing a podcast like this with this many cameras.
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
that's not in a studio.
Yeah.
Like run through a video board with SDI and real deal stuff. So this is all like a DIY kind of setup that anyone could do,
neat.
right?
Yeah. Except for the technology is like,
I wish there was
A
more
learning
sound
curve.
effects throughout the episode.
It's his
Oh,
fault.
we could work on that.
I
He's the
knew. I
soundboard.
thought Jeremy was really gonna be hitting it with
you
those.
know,
You know.
it depends on his energy level.
I really thought
He's
that
had a
was,
long day.
I thought that was gonna be incorporated.
It normally is.
Those
He'll put in background music while we talk, and then we feel special.
on the punch lab.
Yeah. But-
Sorry, lady.
Yeah, so basically the goal right now is get through the first 26, which is the alphabet. That's kind of the pitch. And then hopefully by then we've like sorted
And
through
then-
all of the mistakes.
And we'll have a permanent spot by then to where we don't have to tear
Correct.
down every week.
Oh man,
Because that's killing us.
there's
Every
little-
week something changes when we set everything back up.
yeah.
The computer's like, why is that camera not work this time?
And then at one point it identified them correctly, and then it doesn't, and then you go to change screens and it freezes, and then
Yeah. We're overloading it. I'm having to use two
chassis.
Thunderbolt chassis with USB cards in them. They're all loaded up. They used to have Pro Tools cards in them, and they don't anymore. Now they have USB cards in them, just for all the different USB devices we have. Because otherwise, if you run too many USB devices into one controller, it starts to overload it, and it can't handle it. So, yeah, interesting.
So we got to like 9
Crap.
cameras live in this room, and we stopped at that point. We're just like, all right.
On the screen at the same time,
Yeah.
which is unnecessary.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
No, it's Brady Bunch. It's awesome.
Oh.
Because if you like right here, if you
That's where you were going with
see what I'm
it.
saying, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So
That's the look.
And then
Got
it's this is live streaming too.
YouTube.
YouTube, yeah.
All right.
A great platform.
That's how we found out that the sound wasn't working.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
sound wasn't working?
Yeah.
If you're tuning in now, it's you don't know.
Hey guys.
You wouldn't know
This
that.
is Erika Earl.
It's okay.
Hey.
Jeremy, for the last like 3 episodes, had said, "Did you set the default? Did you set the default?"
I didn't say it this time,
Oh.
so it's okay.
I'm kind of glad.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's okay.
okay.
I think it's nice because in the future, when we regather, or if or when, it'll be a lot
Yeah.
smoother.
We could have you back and talk about real stuff and not just put you on the spot about dumb compressor questions.
Yeah, that
and
whole
stuff.
conversation, it doesn't exist now.
Yeah.
Which one?
The first 30 minutes of space, air, sound, moving, height, depth.
Oh yeah, no, it does. It's very real. It happened.
It did.
And I'm actively working on it every day, so don't you worry. It's not going anywhere.
Oh, that's classic.
And then all the references about the Swiss cup inside these magnificent 10-karat gold microphones.
Well, let's move forward then.
Yeah. Is 10-karat real? Can you have 10-karat?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think so.
Has to do with how much.
How much he's
silver
enjoying this
content.
conversation.
I didn't yawn.
I'm tired.
I didn't
I'm
know.
not. I am enjoying
You're
myself.
supposed to be going out tonight.
We're not going out.
We're hanging out.
Some Mexican
We're
food and
chilling.
margaritas. man.
Probably, and then anything else that happened is none of your business.
None.
Yeah.
None of your business.
Yeah, so I'm kid free. It's Mother's Day,
Oh,
and
wow.
we're gonna celebrate. Anybody who works in the music industry understands that studio hours are not really conducive to friendships or a life outside of it.
Ever.
And yeah, so
I sent a text the other day being like, I haven't
So
seen.
true.
Yeah, and right now it's when I'm working so much. When you work as much as we do,
Yeah.
it's like I have one. This is my one day off.
right, and this
One
is
day
like
off.
the
For
one
3 weeks.
Yeah, no, then that's how it goes. Like
Yeah.
completely. Add babies to the mix, and it's like I'll
crazy.
see you next year.
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. So on the rare occasions that we see each other, we'll go get Roscoe's chicken and waffles or
Yeah.
do-
Yeah.
So
like
while
that.
I'm searching for my sanity, you're searching for your life.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Don't have a life.
Life
Yeah.
is life.
Mm.
What is it? What? Oh, it's gone. It's past me now. Forget it. Life is work. Work is life. It's all playtime and super fun. I think if you're working on stuff that you like, and
It is.
Right, Eva?
I can't even say that my job is work.
Yeah, that makes a huge difference.
It's like editing flutes is not. It's like, what am I? There's
It-
people out there putting out forest fires, and I thought that I was working yesterday. I was working
but
yesterday.
it's a good point.
And I'm so exhausted, and I'm sitting there, and I'm just like timing some marimbas, like so many marimbas, and I'm in this dark marimba hell, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not putting out forest fires. I'm just sitting on my ass 12 hours a day, timing marimbas and panpipes. So it's like I can't really complain.
How do you walk into that negative? Like as soon as it starts, you just immediately like, I'm somewhere else now.
No, I'm like, damn, these marimbas are out
Okay,
of
so
time.
then what's the part of it that makes it difficult? Is that like it was not played well? Like what's the part that sucks?
This is on this. I won't name the project, but on what we're doing now, what I've told people is it's sort of like there have been a lot of elements recorded in different places.
Oh.
People were sending in recordings from the UK. Then these parts were re-recorded a few times. A bit of politics in who's playing what parts because they're so legendary and very well known to listeners. So a lot of different people have kind of played them, and so you record an orchestra, and the orchestra gets timed, and then you have separate percussion sessions with tons of percussion playing separately. And once everything, it's kind of like I've been saying when you record a band and the band, you do general tracking, and then every band member takes it home to their garage and like plays a bunch of guitar parts over it. And the bass player replays the bass, and then throw it all in the session. It's all off. So
you're manually synchronizing everything to make it sound like this one cohesive.
And there's
like live performance.
Yeah, and there's an editor. Yeah. I mean, we have an editor. There's editors that are his sole job is to edit orchestra and then edit. But then I'm going, hey, by the way, there was this marimba overdub session, and there's like 8 marimbas, and they are, because you have a harp playing and you have marimbas playing. It's like shit. I'm like, and I got to keep moving forward, just getting all the material together in a session. So I'm kind of give it to them to do that.
So wait a minute. So can we back up to I'm just super curious about process.
Right.
So your role is to hand off what are you ultimately handing off? A complete session that's ready for mix?
Yes.
And so there are at any given time how many rig, like you have an orc rig, you have like how many different sessions are you actually editing, organizing, and putting together for a mix?
Generally only
for a movie or something.
Generally there's only 2. The print session is ready the whole time. There's only 1 print session the whole movie. That's where we're printing across one computer to the next.
Yeah.
Generally we can actually fit 1 mix into 1 computer. Mm-hmm. Usually, actually. On this mix, not so much. So on this mix, there's actually 2 rigs going. So there's a separate percussion mix section just for all the percussion.
Wow.
And then and you can do it one way or another. And this is the first movie we've done that I've actually had to set this up. And I was, we were really trying to get away with not doing that because as soon as you throw in another rig, you're dealing with sync now on 3 computers and you're jumping to 1 computer mixing, you're jumping to another computer.
Are you using
mixing.
like satellite link or something to do it all at
satellite.
once?
So all computers are linked via satellite. And the real cool thing about the S6 swing, I can put all my master VCAs. We have an all perk, so now.
Can you actually label your monitors in the computer? Not like at the computer section of the S6?
Yes.
Okay, good, because that was a problem at first. Anyways.
Yeah, you
Glad
can now.
they fixed it.
Yeah, so you can do that, but it's great. So I can have a layout, and I mean, there's been some glitches on this one for sure, which I partially think had to do with the fact that I installed another version of Yukon on the mixed computer so we could control with our iPad.
Yes.
Bad idea.
Oh, bummer.
They
Really?
don't work well together at first.
It was cool, but then
That
I
sounds
realized
cool.
there were 2 versions of Yukon, which may have been causing the mix rig to not be that it was seeing the S6 and whatever, but I was like, maybe that's fucking it up. But it's cool because you could have a layout and you can interchange on the layout all the rigs. So he's using the faders a lot.
That's neat.
To move the percussion or spill the percussion and seeing versus jumping back and forth to the computer every 2 seconds.
Neat.
The different screens. Yeah.
Workflow. Love it. Love that stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty intensive workflow.
How many track count are you talking about here? Like 600?
I think on one of the cues we're hitting about 12.
That's insane.
1,200 tracks.
Ooh.
So
It's a lot of data to manage.
because if you think about it, I mean, 1 reverb for an orchestral pass is made up of a front aux, a side aux, a rear aux, a center aux. So that's 4 aux just for 1 pass, 1 reverb for 1 pass of orchestra.
And now you guys are also messing around with ambisonics.
This is our first Atmos mix. So now our orchestra pass auxes are 7.1.2. So
7.1.2. What does that add?
That adds 2 height speakers. So now, and it's funny because
Crazy.
I was joking about it. I was joking a year ago, going, "Yeah, this is gonna be really funny because he's gonna start messing with stuff and panning stuff up to the ceilings, and I'm gonna fuck up the settings, and the violins are gonna be in the ceiling." And here we go with this mix, and it's on, of course, this movie. It's a really big movie. I'm like, this has to be the movie that we really start experimenting because the amount of processing if you put one plug-in on a 10-channel aux is just.
Oh, it kills it.
I mean,
it kills it.
The computer's been barely moving in certain instances. I'm like, we gotta kill that one. We gotta kill it because we have 2 Atmos auxes because we're actually doing a cool thing where we're sending the low woodwinds, contra bassoons out, and he's panning them slowly up to the ceiling like a wah, kind of to get a cool effect. So
that's awesome.
But yeah,
Love that.
It's really intense because then you think about it, you got to make all your reverbs 7-1-2 because you can't actually send that aux out to a
stereo channel.
You can't send it out to even a 7.0. So it's it's really great. Luckily, we're only doing the orchestra, the winds, and one of the choirs in Atmos. So those are the only things we're delivering.
Keeping it simple. That's cool.
This is that time where you needed to add some like winds in the background.
Yeah, some winds in the ceiling. It's cool though. You put the choir on the ceiling, and it sounds really big. So it's cool.
Immersive.
It's immersive. It's unbelievable. And it's funny because people were like, I don't think it's gonna make that. But whenever I'm in the theater, I don't notice it. And I had people coming.
Right.
I had people coming into the room while we
freaking
were
out
doing it, and I was playing like the Captain Marvel mixes with the heights actually up there, and it's a minor difference, but it's like holy shit, you can hear it. It's just like you're in a sonic bath.
That's cool.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so fucking beautiful.
Thank you, Walt Disney.
Thank you, Disney. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, God, it's so nerdy.
Who owns that Sonic Bath? Someone that has to be owned.
She trademarked that tomorrow.
I've heard someone say that before. Sonic Bath.
Yeah.
Oh, you hear Sonic Bath? That's when you're washing a console, right? When you're give it a Sonic bath.
No, that's like the ultrasonic bath.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah,
what is
it's
it?
an ultrasonic bath.
Yeah,
it's like
no, you have
it's
to
a
get
thing.
Oh,
it is.
that's
It is
hilarious.
Total thing.
with an Eve when you need to do a full clean out.
This
Yeah.
isn't when Sonic the Hedgehog takes a bath.
No,
This is
it's actually
No.
a technical way of
Yeah.
preserving
Sonic
the components.
bath.
Yeah,
The connections.
Ultrasonic.
Ultrasonic.
it's an ultrasonic bath. That's probably where I got it from.
Yeah.
Something like that. I've never done it. I don't know. This is like
You've never done that?
no.
Surprised.
I mean, just give me a Q-tip and some isopropyl alcohol, and take care of that, and soldering iron, and a few hours, and some death metal.
Oh yeah.
Gotta have the death metal.
So sorry for everyone who doesn't have the first.
Have you
43
seen that
minutes.
soldering iron that has like a little reel on the side of it now, and
What?
it'll dispense the solder as you're
It's
holding
lazy.
the iron?
No,
What?
I
No.
have not. Call
like a
me
reverse-
old-fashioned.
It's like a reverse fishing pole, if you can appreciate it.
Ew.
That
what
might
if-
be neat. I mean, I would try it. I use just a regular pencil with
No.
regular old
So it's kind of like
spool of solder.
Yep.
They
like
should have a button though. It should be a little button. like a-
they're taking this from a feed welder, huh? From an
It's
old.
basically it's just a little
You just
little-
go
yeah, and it
feed it out.
feeds
That's
it.
cool.
It's cool.
I would like to try that. Who makes them? Send one, please.
I don't know. Yeah, we need them.
We need them.
You got to bring it up, and you don't even know who manufactures
Yeah,
it.
come on.
Wow. Real.
What kind of podcast are you running here?
Real professional.
Sorry about that.
No
A
demonstration
lot of
model.
information nowadays.
Yeah.
The information age.
You should do podcasts where you do test out new like tech
That'd be fun.
material. That would be really funny.
We could do
We're
a
hoping to
segment.
get
I will be
there.
happy to come back
We're
as
hoping
long
to
as I
get there.
get to keep
whatever it is.
whatever
Yeah,
whatever that
definitely.
is like testing with
That's awesome.
Earl and Eva.
Yeah, that would be great.
Perfect.
Although
What are we breaking?
when I was getting into tech, I electrocuted myself on a tube tech the first time I tried it.
On a tube tech?
Yeah.
That's not
I
fun.
think technically shocked, right? No, because if you electrocute,
Well,
would
it
you be
was
dead?
shocked. I got shocked.
You got shocked.
I got
That's
I got a little
good.
DC or AC or I don't know. It was the
Yeah.
one that can't
Hold
kill
on.
you.
So electrocute means permanent.
I think so.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't
Shocked.
get electrocuted.
Shock just
I got-
means you just got a little bit, but if you were electrocuted, it was terminal.
Let's
Deadly?
say I felt an
Yeah.
intense
I would have to look it up.
vibration throughout my body.
So that's scary. I want to. So you were working on which tube tech?
There was one at King Size that was failing, and we realized it was. I opened it up with Bryce, and the solder joints were so old in the for the tubes that we had to re kind of solder them in just because they were getting kind of loose. You could move, and the metal was kind of
Yeah.
like so. But we had plugged it in, and I opened it, and he's like,
you
"You always
plugged it
need
in
to."
and then opened it and
I
started
plugged it in.
poking around in it. With
No.
it plugged into
It's always healthy.
No, I'm just curious.
I'm so glad we followed
With a
this
fork?
process.
With
What?
a fork.
I stuck my hand on the no, we plugged it in.
I
I
grabbed.
have shocked myself. I've shocked myself a few times.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
How? On what?
On like really dumb shit, like having a power supply plugged in, and was like, oh, I'm just gonna. I mean, I can be a little reckless sometimes.
Right. Well, Bryce will always it was off and everything, so that's why I thought it was fine.
I
And he
usually
says-
take a meter and measure to make sure that there's no voltage,
That's what
on
he
the
said.
chassis or whatever else, and like I'm gonna be okay. But I start getting a little like overly confident because I do it so often, or I'm
Oh, yeah.
in it all the time, and
That's how.
then the next thing you know, it's like I think I need to go home for the day. I almost cooked my heart meat, and like I'm glad I'm still alive, and I almost died for your tone, bitches.
Yeah, I almost died for an equalizer, but yeah, no, he always knocks around, what do you call it, like one of those screwdrivers to get all the current out or whatever, and I didn't do that, and he was like, you could have killed yourself. I was like,
It takes a surprisingly low amount of
to hurt
current
yourself.
to kill yourself. Like
I've done it on a
low voltage.
B15,
ooh,
What?
an Ampeg B15.
Oh,
That does
yeah.
not feel good. And I don't know if you know those 610s. Those
Universal Audio.
they were out of the console. We built a box for them now, but they're just two that were just sitting by themselves. And if you
Ivana is here.
reach in there.
Sorry,
it does
they're
not
next
feel
door
good.
ordering Indian food.
She's not gonna
Oh.
come inside and crash the party.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't even know if they can crash the party.
Yeah.
They-
I think we should save it for another time.
There's
I think we
sound now.
should.
Yeah, it would be good just to have her on.
It would be. She's a good
She
converser.
can talk it up.
Yeah.
So you were saying about the 610. So you were telling us about how
I've
you almost
shocked.
died.
No, it hurts.
It does hurt.
Freaking hurts.
So sweet.
the
your voice.
the B15 the B15 had a bigger transformer, I think, in it. So when I got that one, it really got me good. The 610s don't. I mean, it has a big transformer, but not quite the size of the B15. There's a tie in there somewhere, isn't there? Anyways,
But isn't that interesting that low voltage will kill you, but high voltage will just cook you? Uh-oh. Who buzzed?
don't they both kill you?
Yeah, but doesn't low voltage have a higher chance of stopping your heart?
Not from what I understand.
No.
Low voltage is no big deal.
It ain't no thing, but
Okay.
it's chicken wing.
It's amperage
Is
that's
it
really
current?
gonna get you. Yeah,
it's current.
It's like
Like a very low amount of amperage can kill you. Like a surprisingly
Okay,
low.
that's what it was.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
I forget. I pulled up
I just knew
the
that it was
actual
low
numbers
numbers. Yeah.
well,
not too long ago, and it's like half an amp, and even like it might even be like a milliamp is enough to kill you.
Fry you.
So the voltage is just kind of, what is the voltage? The amperage is the heat.
No, current versus voltage. Think of like force versus think of like I'm trying to think of how to describe current versus voltage.
so I looked it up, and it says the current flowing across a cell membrane as it depolarizes. It's only a few microamps. So your brain is operating somewhere in like a few microamps,
Okay.
right? They say somewhere between 15 and 20 watts.
Mm-hmm.
So greater than that could be very, very damaging to you, right? Very damaging.
But if
Not
you want to
good.
get into basic electronic theory, we can talk after the podcast, and I can explain you with that water bottle the difference between all of those things. I don't want to do it here.
The flowing of
The
electricity.
Current versus voltage and all of that kind of.
I just always understood amperage is higher the amperage, there's more heat attached to it.
That might be. I'm sure that
Because if you raise voltage, it doesn't.
That's
You don't.
Generate
need
more
it.
That's wattage, though, is what you're talking about. Wattage talks, whatever. We don't need to get into all of it right now.
Let's get confused.
I think it's important that everybody is more scientific literate, so maybe we should. But I think we've been talking for how long now?
Yeah, we're good.
We're
A
calling
long
it.
time.
Yep.
All right. Are you going to give us the song?
I'm going to.
He's going to give us the song.
I do that. That's what I do.
So amazing. All right. Jeremy, where are we?
We're in North Hollywood
All right.
at
Thank
a
you.
little building.
It's a little building on the cusp of Burbank, North Hollywood. She loves flutes.
We're gonna give you more flutes to edit later.
Yeah.
Sync them up, line them up.
Well,
Check them out, baby.
I think that was amazing.
Thank you, ladies. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for
Thanks.
coming
Thanks for
today.
having
You know,
me.
we got over 30 minutes of working audio.
Hey,
That's
that's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Eva, Erika, you're amazing.
Thanks. Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
Happy Mother's Day.
Go call your mom.